Hi, I'm Lauren Seawalt from saltandsequence.com, and I'm going to show you today how I decorate my Christmas tree. Okay, so I wanted to show you a few things today that I'm really excited about. First of all is this top hat. You could easily make one. I got mine from Paul Michael, and I think they call it a velvet top hat. I will put all the links in my blog post of where I got my stuff, because this year I feel like I got some really good stuff that I'm really excited about. The next is Walmart. I never shop at Christmas stuff at Walmart, and I was really surprised at their selection this year. Two things, this galvanized tree collar, which is right here. I'm really excited about it. It was $17. And Hearth and Home has one in their new Target line, the Magnolia line. And someone told me it was like over 30. So for half the price, it's so cute. It also comes in red, and you can flip it where it's like this or like that. So for only $17, I love it. I think it adds a lot to the tree. These were $1.50, these like jute picks, which I thought were really cute. And then my favorite thing this year is I added to this new flock tree these LED cluster lights, which are so amazing, and they do a million different things. So these were kind of pricey. They were 40 bucks, but they're warm, so they look like incandescents, and there's 760 lights, and you can get these on Amazon. And like I said, I'll put the links on the blog post. So to get started, I am going to do the top hat at the top. I normally in the past have done a lot of picks at the top and done this huge explosion for a tree topper, but this year I wanted to go a little more subtle and a little different this year. I got this new flock tree at Michael's. It's 7.5 foot. It doesn't have LED lights, which is a little disappointing because I feel like every tree has LED lights this year, but it was only $150 because it was half off. So I thought that was a really good deal. So check out Michael's flock tree, and compared to all the other flock trees I saw from Sam's to Costco, I looked at Michael's Hobby Lobby, Joann. It is the best looking. Like, it looks the most full, and like the tips look the best. Oh, and Home Depot. So I really looked for a lot of trees, and then my neighbor said she read great reviews on it, and I checked it out and I bought it as well. So okay, I'm just gonna start out something super simple. The top hat is going on the top at an angle, so that's super simple. And then I've made this bow this year. Just kind of show you, and I'll put a link into some tutorials on how to make a bow. Mine's a little bit different this year. I got 3 different fabrics from Michael's, all for super cheap. They're all the same length, which made it where I can make a super easy bow. So it's just super simple, and I'll put a link in the blog post to show you how you can make your own bow like this. And I attached it to a floral pick, so it'll be easier to stick into the tree. So I'm gonna kind of do this at the opposite side. So I put the kind of the top hat towards the right, so this will go kind of towards the left. And I'll put this kind of lower. This was also a great find. I got this deco mesh from Michael's. It was Halloween deco mesh, so I got it for really cheap, which I was excited about, and then I thought it went with all my Christmas stuff anyways. So I like to start at the bottom with deco mesh and then work my way to the top, because I always find that I have lots of stuff to put in the top and not a lot of stuff to put in the bottom when it comes to like decor and picks and stuff. And I think it's best to kind of start with this bigger stuff, because if you start putting balls in the tree and then start trying to stuff in deco mesh, your ornaments end up falling off the tree. So I think it's best to start with kind of your biggest pieces, like your top hat and your bow, and then do your deco mesh. I also have like a red burlap one. So that one's a big one, and that's a little bit harder to work with. This is a smaller deco mesh, which I think is really easy to work with and adds a lot of volume to your tree. So I've taken it all off, and then I'm just gonna kind of work this into the tree. And I like things a little bit messier, so I'm not prim and proper. So I like it to be super, like it's turning, I took it off the roll, and I'm literally just shoving it in the tree. And I think everything requires like you shoving it in. Like if stuff is just sitting out here on this on the edge of the tree, it doesn't look good. You really have to push it in deep and give it that bubble look, which mine's turning and all that kind of stuff, and it just creates a neat look. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave it like that. Okay, so that's just one roll. That's all I bought, which was silly. I should have bought more rolls of that. But that's my deco mesh. And then this is some gorgeous like jute cage ribbon. This is from Walmart as well, and this is just in their craft section. This was like $4. So you don't always have to look in the holiday section. This one I thought was super affordable, and it's beautiful. And it's one of my favorite pieces. So with this, because it's super droopy and it doesn't have a lot of substance to it, I'm gonna let it do its thing. So because if you have like a ribbon that's more like this, doesn't have a wire in it, this is what I would do with that ribbon. So again, I'm gonna start at the bottom because I feel like that's always best. And I'm gonna start stuffing. Okay, and I'm letting it kind of droop like so. All right, don't forget about the back of your tree or the side of your tree. For instance, my couch is over here. So I'm gonna have to decorate this right side because I'm probably gonna see that tree from that side like 90% of the time while I'm watching TV. So that's super important to not forget about that as well. Okay, originally when I started buying for this tree and for this year, I had this silver tree. This is my old tree and it wasn't this short, but it was 7 foot. It was about the same. And so I took off the whole bottom section and I added some C7 lights to it just to give it the multicolored look. And then I just staggered the trees. So, and it just has burlap stuffed around the bottom, and it's just, you know, so that way I just did something different because I still liked the tree. Some lights are out on it, but it's not a big deal. And so I think it's best, because I had this silver tree at the time, is I bought these white snowflakes. They go really well on it because they pop, because you can see them, because the white versus the silver. Well, now that I have a flock tree, these don't really stand out hardly at all. Maybe if you put them on top of like the deco mesh, they do. But you want to think about that when you're buying your ornaments. You want to buy stuff that is going to pop. So if you have a green tree, you don't want to buy green stuff. If you have a silver tree, you don't want to buy silver stuff. And if you have a flock tree, unless you want to go all white, which is fine, boring in my opinion, but you would buy all white, or I think you should do stuff that pops and that kind of stands out. Like burlap looks gorgeous on a flock tree. So you can find really affordable burlap things, and that would look really beautiful on this tree. Okay, this is the traditional floral pick that I used to do all of my tree toppers in. For like the last 10 years, I've done tree toppers like this. I think it's best when you use those floral picks to stick them in really deep, to not start at the top. Like I see a lot of people do like this, and it just makes it look too airy. I think it's best if you kind of start lower on the tree and stick it in like so for balance. And honestly, this is such an art form that you can make mistakes and you take things out and you try stuff. Like, I don't think I really like the way this is looking, but I'll step back in a little bit and I'll rework it all, you know? So this is a fun, just little circle piece, and I always keep it in a circle and add some depth to the tree and just give it some more dimension up there at the top. Okay, this is what the floral pick looked like that I attached the bow to. So I have a couple more of these that I'm gonna add in. I got these at Hobby Lobby. Everything is 50% off right now. That's the only time you should buy is when you can get it for 50% off. These are Creative Co-op, which is a popular brand that a lot of boutiques sell. I bet you could find these online, and I'll try and find them online and get a link. But these are gorgeous galvanized. They weren't very expensive. They were like $5 a piece ornaments, and they are really big, so they kind of pack a punch. Okay, so now for these floral picks that I got from Walmart, which I think are super cute. Okay, so I took a step back just now and I decided that my hat's kind of falling and I don't really like the way that looks. Okay, sometimes I like to just take ornaments and literally just shove it in the tree. It's not hanging, it's just kind of becoming part of the tree topper. Okay, so now to start with some ornaments, I have some multicolored and I have some red, so I'm going to start just placing those. Okay, I took a step back and I made a couple adjustments, and then broke an ornament, so then we had to vacuum. But I went ahead and stuck the wool garland, and I kind of stuck it out a little bit more. So I followed my own advice of not letting things dangle off the tree and really sticking them in further. It makes it look better, and it's like, duh. Okay, so that is my tips on how to decorate a Christmas tree, and I will post some pics of the final product.